Take off the little blingy bling. Boy, though, Joe, you got that bling, though. It's actually a silver necklace. My wife got this for me for our 3-year anniversary. I want to share a prison-related news story with you guys that hits a particular sore spot with me. And the headline of this story is as follows. Portsmouth woman pleads guilty to illegally obtaining pandemic employment benefits. Now, with a headline like that, you've probably heard similar type of stories of people who have been illegally obtaining employment pandemic benefits or pandemic employment benefits throughout this pandemic. You've got the PPE loans, a lot of memes that have been made about that, talking about you didn't want to work, they gave you a stimulus check. You told them you had a business, they gave you the PPE loan. And now you're going to federal prison because they want to see verification of how you use those funds. Something along those lines. But a headline like this is not all that uncommon these days. And you know why it hits a particular sore spot with me is the fact that, I pay a lot of money in taxes. I pay a lot of money in taxes. I got to pay, gosh. And I ain't getting no stimulus check, and I ain't getting no PPE benefits or no unemployment benefits. And in fact, my taxes have gone up, as has quite a few small businesses because of all of this right here. And to think that there's been people who've been taking advantage of the system, milking the system, it just ain't right. But it ain't like it's all that surprising. Now, is it? The real interesting thing about this particular story is just how all of this transpired with this. Why? When I'm filming, why? Is it my breath? I gotta get a bug zapper in here and find the culprit. We're gonna have to do, is it these old Dr. Peppers? Folks, not only was this woman taking advantage of illegal pandemic employment benefits, she was also doing this through the use, the help, or maybe the taking advantage of prisoners. Prisoners. I'm not sure how that's going to register right there. I'm actually testing shotgun mic versus lavalier mic right here with the AC running. We're just doing a little experimenting in my shed. But we're not making meth, though. When I think about experimenting in a shed, I either think of sword fighting or making meth, which I don't do either one of those, ironically enough. Joe, you wear salmon-colored shirts. Are you sure? Norfolk, Virginia. Wait a minute. It just said that this was in Portsmouth. Oh, that's right. The federal courthouse is in Norfolk. On Thursday, the Department of Justice, Deputy Federales, announced that a Portsmouth woman pleaded guilty to her involvement in a fraudulent scheme that used the personal identifying information of over 30 Virginia prison inmates to obtain over $300,000 in pandemic-related unemployment benefits. Wait a minute. 30 people in prison? They don't got no job. The scheme resulted in the deliberate theft of unemployment funds that were intended to serve as a lifeline for members of our community who faced financial hardship during the pandemic. Somebody whose name I can't pronounce said, acting U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. He be the prosecutor for the feds. Yo, this chick is smoked. Now here's another interesting note to mention about this story. I wonder how this woman got caught. You know, I've seen like Crime Stoppers and Crime Lines and maybe like ads on Facebook or something. I can't remember where I've actually seen this, but you know, I've seen like, hey, if you turn somebody in for getting a fraudulent PPE loan or fraudulent unemployment pandemic benefits, you could get a reward for that. I don't know how true that is or not, but in this particular story, I'm wondering, and probably all but certain, somebody told on her. I wonder if it was a prisoner. Court documents identify the woman as Mary Landon Benton, 38 years old, of Portsmouth. Folks, I'm showing you a picture right here. It's either her mugshot, if we were able to find that, or the infamous no user profile pic photo. She worked with 3 inmates to collect the personal information of other inmates in order to apply for Virginia unemployment benefits during the COVID-19 pandemic. Who says that all small businesses suffered during the pandemic? Yo, this chick was winning. She's gonna be on an episode of that TV show American Greed. And I wonder how much of that $300K she kept for herself. So I don't know necessarily. Okay, let's just break this thing down. She worked with 30 inmates to collect over $300,000. So if we do the math on that, that breaks down to approximately, I don't know why I keep going down like I'm giving. That breaks down to about 10 graham crackers per prisoner. That's a hefty little come up. And you got to think, like, for the prisoner, what is their cut out of the deal? I got to imagine it's probably something like a 70-30 split, which is quite substantial if you're locked up. If you're getting $3,000, I don't know why I keep saying threes like trees, but if you're getting $3,000 dropped on your books for commissary, dog, you ain't got no more worries in prison. $300,000 is gonna last you a year, easily. Going to the store, spending, well, let's just do the math on it. 3,000 divided by 52 weeks in a year, boy, you spending $57.69 a week. Almost $60 a week, that's gonna keep you right. Damn, that's gonna keep you right. Doing 50 plus a week, that's good eating right there. You can make a prison meal every single night of the week. And she would probably keep in the other $7K for herself. She was probably super greedy. This was a hell of a hustle right here. This was a hell of a scheme, but she got caught because when you break the law, that's usually what happens. Speed on the interstate if you want to. That's pretty weak, Joe. She submitted between 41 and 51 applications. That's pretty precise on their numbers right there, although only 31 were approved. And again, 30 prisoners divided by 300,000, that's $10,000. I mean, that's the average right there. I'm sure not everybody got it like that. Maybe it was a prisoner who only got approved for like $100. Or maybe it was a prisoner who she said didn't get approved but did. How was you to know if you're locked up? The applications included several false pieces of information, including the inmate's contact information and last employer. God, I wonder what she put for that. Daddy Do Right Daycare? That was pretty good, Joe. Pretty good. Benton took a portion of the money before providing the rest to the inmates, according to the statement of facts. My God, I've never even heard of that. A statement of facts? That shit sounds like a testimony to me. That shit sounds like somebody was cooperating. Who and why? Today's guilty plea affirms the U.S. Department of Labor Office of Inspector General's commitment. My God, that is a long name right there. Commitment to working with our federal and state agency partners to investigate fraud and identity theft that adversely impacts the integrity of the unemployment insurance program. Boy, that joint was a run-on statement full of syllables right there. Benton was indicted on April the 8th and she will be sentenced on October the 25th. She faces a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison herself. My God, are they going to make an example out of this woman? Is she going to be able to provide little testimony on somebody else? If you know this woman, you better start hoping that she don't know you. Because she telling on everybody, 30 years, 30 years. Wait, well, what you mean? What you mean facing 30 years? 30 years for what? For what? What does that break down to? My God, that breaks down to 1 year per every $10,000 she snatched like the purse of an old lady from the federal government. A year for every dime piece she took. How much time do you think this chick's gonna get? Do you think they're gonna smoke her boots? I kind of think that they will. Simply because of the fact they're gonna make an example out of this situation. I don't think there's gonna be too much slapping on the wrist taking place with this particular story. But then again, you never know. Whatever the case may be, this chick gonna be like a god up inside of the prison. I was doing God's work, looking out for all of y'all. And all y'all gonna sit here and say that none of y'all got a soup. None of y'all got a soup. I sent y'all $90,000 up in here. That's a hell of a lot of money to be sending for commissary. And $90,000 is 30% of $300K, which I'm assuming she probably kept 70% of that for herself, which is 210,000 smackaroos right there. Is it worth it? You know, you could have done a lot. You could have got, how am I trying to say this? You hear about whether it's a blue collar crime or white collar crime. I can't remember what's the financial crimes, but you hear about stories like that where people get away with stealing like millions of dollars. Maybe in the past it was more prevalent to take place the way that I'm explaining, but you would hear these stories of people who like got away with scams for hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of dollars, and they really wouldn't end up having to serve that much time, and it almost made it seem like, damn, it's worth the risk to try to pull it off. The ultimate scheme. The Italian job in prison, so to speak. But nowadays, they seem to be smoking the boots of the financial crimes. Ask Bernie Madoff, who ended up getting sentenced to life and who just recently passed away in prison. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to think about. You guys let me know what you think about this story. How much time you think this chick's gonna get? Do you think that it was worth it? It usually never is. And I look forward to hearing what each and every one of you has to say. Have a great one, and until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day.